I'm 82 years old. I woke up this morning alone, like most mornings now, and it finally felt dishonest not to say this out loud. I've spent most of my life being praised for what I built, and almost none of it is sitting with me in this room. I'm not telling this because I need forgiveness. I don't even know who I would ask anymore. I'm telling it because time is short and silence feels heavier than truth. Right now, my hands shake when I hold a cup of tea. Not badly. Just enough to remind me that things don't obey me the way they used to. My hearing fades in and out. My memory doesn't. I remember everything that matters. People think old age brings wisdom. Sometimes it just brings clarity. And clarity can hurt more than confusion ever did. I used to believe my life made sense. That the long hours, the missed dinners, the constant pressure, all of it was pointing somewhere meaningful. I thought I was being responsible. I thought I was doing what a good man does. I never thought of myself as someone who chose work over people. I thought I was choosing people through work. That's how it starts. In my 20s, I was hungry. Not starving, just driven. I had a young wife, a small apartment that always smelled faintly of old carpet, and a head full of plans. I worked my first real job at a firm where nobody left before dark. You stayed because you wanted to be seen staying. You wanted your name remembered. I remember coming home late and finding my wife asleep on the couch, the TV still on. I'd lower the volume so it wouldn't wake her. I'd kiss her forehead. She'd stir and smile without opening her eyes. I told myself that counted. When our first child was born, I held him and promised him everything. I promised stability. I promised opportunity. I promised I'd give him a better life than I had. What I didn't promise, what I didn't even think to promise, was presence. In my 30s, the pace picked up. Promotions. Bigger responsibilities. More meetings that couldn't be missed. There was always a reason. I missed a school play once. My wife said it was fine. She always said it was fine. I missed another one the next year. Then a birthday dinner. Then a weekend trip I promised. Each time, it felt small. Each time, I told myself I'd make it up later. Later is a dangerous word. It sounds patient. It isn't. My kids learned not to ask if I'd be there. They just asked my wife. I noticed, but I didn't stop. I thought providing was the same as showing up. By my 40s, people called me successful. That word followed me everywhere. Neighbors said it. Colleagues said it. Even my parents said it with pride. "You've done well," my father told me once, shaking my hand like I was a client. I believed them. At home, things grew quieter. Not hostile. Just thin. My wife stopped waiting up. Dinners became leftovers in the fridge with notes taped to the container. "Hope your meeting went well. Kids ate already. See you in the morning." I read those notes like proof of support. I didn't read them like signals of distance. I told myself marriages just settled into routines. That passion faded. That this was normal. Normal is another dangerous word. In my 50s, the cracks became visible, but I was too busy looking forward to notice. Retirement was always in a few years. Things would slow down then. My kids were grown, or nearly. They didn't need me as much, I told myself. They had their own lives. I remember my daughter calling me once, asking if I could help her move apartments. I said I had a deadline. She paused on the phone. Just a pause. Then she said, "It's okay. I'll figure it out." She did. There was no argument. No confrontation. Just another quiet adjustment where she learned not to rely on me. That's how relationships erode. Not with explosions. With accommodations. The turning point didn't arrive like a thunderclap. It came like a phone call that felt strangely calm. My wife had been feeling tired, she said. The doctor wanted tests. I still went to work that day. When the diagnosis came, cancer, I remember nodding as if the doctor were explaining a spreadsheet. Treatments, schedules, statistics. I told my wife we'd handle it. I told her I'd take some time off. I didn't take enough. I sat in hospital rooms answering emails while she slept. I told myself I was being efficient. I thought that was helpful. One afternoon, she asked me if I could just sit with her. No phone. No laptop. I said, of course, and then checked one last message. She turned her face toward the window. She died less than a year later. At the funeral, people spoke about what a devoted husband I was. How hard I'd worked for my family. How proud she must have been. I stood there and accepted their words because correcting them felt cruel. Grief doesn't always arrive loud. Sometimes it arrives as inventory. I went home to a house that felt staged, like someone else had just moved out. Her mug still in the cabinet. Her shoes by the door. The silence wasn't peaceful. It was accusatory. After that, the illusion collapsed slowly. My children visited, but not often. They were polite, caring, distant. They didn't share much about their lives. I realized I hadn't taught them how to talk to me, only how to wait for me. When I retired, I expected relief. Instead, I felt irrelevant. The phone stopped ringing. Meetings stopped mattering. The title disappeared overnight. I had time. So much time. And no one to give it to. I tried reaching out more. Invitations felt forced. Conversations felt shallow. You can't rebuild intimacy on a schedule. You can't apologize your way back into moments that are gone. I missed my grandchildren growing into themselves. I missed my son learning how to be a father. I missed the small, unremarkable moments that somehow become everything. Now, at 82, people ask me what I'm proud of. I paused too long before answering. I'm proud that I didn't quit when things were hard. I'm proud that I kept my word at work. I'm proud that I provided. But pride feels thin when the room is empty. What can't be fixed is simple and brutal. Time doesn't negotiate. You can't go back and sit at the dinner table. You can't replay a childhood. You can't ask someone to need you again once they've learned how not to. I'm not drowning in regret every day. Some days are quiet. Some days are even peaceful. But there's an ache that never leaves. A sense that I misunderstood the assignment. I thought life was something you prepare for. I didn't realize it was something you participate in. If you're listening to this and you're younger than I am, which you almost certainly are, I won't tell you what to do. I'll just tell you what surprised me. No one remembers how busy you were. They remember how available you were. The people who love you don't need your potential. They need your attention. And the cost of postponing connection isn't paid all at once. It's paid quietly, over decades, until one day the bill comes due and there's no one left to split it with. If this meant something to you, sit with it for a moment. You don't need to change your whole life. Just notice where you keep saying later. As for me, I don't have many years left. I can feel that in my bones. I spend my days slower now. I talk to photos. I forgive myself in small doses. At night, before I sleep, I try to remember faces as they were, not as they became. That's all I have left to give.